Please stand for the Grand Promenade of the Robert Turner College and Career High School Class of 2024. Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Lamis Abdeljawad, and I am the Robert Turner College and Career High School Student Body President.
It is my honor to welcome you all to the Turner College and Career High School Class of 2024 Commencement Ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Pearland Police Department Honor Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, the Pledge to the Texas flag, and the National Anthem. Male graduates and male guests, please remove your mortar boards and hats.
Hello, my name is Evangeline Curlis, Senior Class Vice President. Please join me for the pledge to the U.S. flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the pledge to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for a national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. Please welcome to the stage Senior Class Representative Paul Perez.
We want to thank the Pearland Police Department Honor Guard for joining us today for the presentation of colors. Students, if you have committed to serve in any branch of the military, please stand to be recognized. At this time, we would also like to ask that all men and women who are currently serving or have served in any branch of the military, please stand so we may honor your service to our country. Thank you all for your service. You may be seated. Please welcome to the stage Chisholm U. Mello, Senior Class Secretary, and Caitlin Norman, Senior Class Historian.
We are honored to introduce our platform guest. Platform guest, please stand as I call your name. Superintendent of the Pearland Independent School District, Dr. Larry Berger. Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Kelly Holt. Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Lisa Nixon. Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Charles Allen. Executive Director of Intermediate Schools, Dr. Lakeisha Henson Vaughn. Assistant Principal, Ms. Joy Brown Johnson. Assistant Principal, Mr. Kevin McDonald. Assistant Principal, Ms. Angela Piedras. Lead Counselor, Mr. Juan De La Garza. Student Support Counselor, Ms. Melissa McDavid. Counselor, Ms. Priya Patel. And Counselor, Ms. Leticia Romo.
The class of 2024 would like to recognize our honored guests, daughters of Robert Turner, Miss Susan Andrus, Miss Danny McAmel, representing the Pearland Independent School District Board of Trustees, President Miss Crystal Carbone, Vice President Mr. Sean Murphy, Secretary Miss Nanette Weimer, Trustee Miss Tony Carter, Trustee Miss Jenny Francis, Trustee Dr. Christopher Scheffler. We would also like to recognize all of the other Pearland ISD faculty, staff, and administrators who have supported us for the past 4 years. If you are a Pearland ISD employee, please stand and be recognized. Please welcome our principal, Dr. Kai Bouchard.
Thank you. We are here this afternoon to celebrate a truly remarkable collection of individuals, the Robert Turner College and Career High School class of 2024. And I am honored to be here to play a part in this celebration. Before we recognize our students, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Berger, his cabinet members, and the Pearland ISD Board of Trustees for your continued guidance and support. We have the ability to provide our students with an amazing education with unparalleled opportunities, and it is all thanks to your leadership. To my fellow Turner educators, the teachers, counselors, office staff, and administrators, thank you. It is not always easy to be an educator, but there are few professions that are as noble as that of a teacher. You are an amazing team, and while we are here to celebrate the outstanding accomplishments of our students, I hope that you take a moment to recognize, just as I do, the significant impact that you've had on their lives. And to those of you in the stands, grandparents, uncles, aunts, brothers and sisters, and most especially the parents. We have had the privilege of working with this fine group of young men and women seated before me. They are smart, they're successful, and they are full of potential, but they probably didn't start that way. They have been mentored and molded into the exceptional individuals that they are today. Parents, you too are to be congratulated. You have taught them valuable lessons, instilled important values, exercised patience, and made sacrifices to ensure that they've had every opportunity to grow into the amazing individuals we see before us. Congratulations, parents. You have a lot to be proud of. And finally, to the class of 2024. Yesterday, after you left graduation rehearsal, and after all the underclassmen left campus for their last day of school, I began to prepare for this speech. And what I decided to do was walk around the building and reminisce with those teachers who were still around. We talked about you, we talked about your story, and we talked about what advice we should give you as you enter this next stage of your life. I spoke to a lot of teachers one-on-one, and a common theme emerged from these individual conversations. It was a theme of strength and resiliency. We admire your strength and resiliency. You see, in my opinion, the most important year, the most consequential year of a child's education is that of his or her freshman year. The freshman year is so important because this is the year where a student really establishes what kind of person he or she will become. It is a huge year, and it is important for us to consider what the world was like when you entered high school. You started your high school career in the summer of 2020. The COVID pandemic was fresh and new, and it was raging throughout the world. There was so much fear and change and uncertainty in the world. And with uncertainty comes anxiety. Life was crazy then, and that was exactly when you started your high school career, your freshman year. It could not have been easy dealing with the changes that come when you transition from junior high school to high school. In addition to that, all the changes that the pandemic thrust upon us all. But as difficult as it was, you exhibited unprecedented strength and resiliency. You were met with a very challenging situation, and you overcame it. I mention this because as you enter this next stage of your life, you will undoubtedly find success, joy, and opportunity. But life is not always easy, nor is it predictable. Things will not always go your way. There will be situations that challenge you, times when you struggle and even fail. And I'm here to say that that's okay. One common theme that emerged from those conversations I had with your teachers is that we are not worried about the class of 2024. We have seen you take on extremely challenging situations, and we have witnessed you come out the other side. You didn't just survive it, you became stronger because of it. The common theme is that we are confident in your ability to go forth and do great things. Our only hope and our wish for you is that you leave us and go out to make your mark on the world, is that you do that with confidence. Life is a funny thing. There will be good times. There will be times of uncertainty and struggle. There will be times that you will be presented with a problem for which you don't have an immediate answer. You may not know what to think or what to do, but when this inevitably happens to you, I want you to remember these three things. First, uncertainty is completely normal and part of the human condition. We all struggle from time to time, but what I have learned is that when I am presented with a problem that I can't solve on my own, it's okay to ask for help and guidance from those whom I trust and respect. And that leads me to number two. Don't forget about your support system. Look around you. You are literally surrounded by friends and family who love you and support you. They've been pulling for you for a very long time and will be there for you in times of need. And finally, never forget that you have already demonstrated the unique ability to meet significant obstacles, to rise above them, and to overcome. You are amazing. Congratulations, class of 2024. We are all so very proud of you. Our next speaker is the daughter of Ana Carla Alcala and Rodolfo Alcala. In a few short months, she will be moving to College Station and will attend Texas A&M University, where she will major in biochemistry. Please welcome to the stage, class of 2024 salutatorian, Miss Carla Fernanda Alcala.
Good afternoon, friends, family, and fellow graduates. My name is Carla Alcala, but most of you know me as Fernanda. To start off, I would like to thank God for allowing me to be here today, standing before all of you. And I would like to thank my parents for being the loving, supportive role models that I needed to succeed. Los amo. Growing up, I've always wanted to speak at graduation. In fact, I wrote the first draft of this speech when I was just in 6th grade. And while this may be hard to believe for a lot of y'all, I used to hate talking in school. I was the type of kid that didn't want to be involved in extracurriculars, and I prayed that teachers wouldn't call on me in class. So you may be wondering, why did you want to speak at graduation if you were so shy? Well, to be honest, it was less about delivering the speech and more about being the type of woman that was confident enough to have her voice heard. And as of today, I can proudly say that I am that woman that the shy little girl in me could only dream of being. But I didn't magically wake up one day feeling like I could take on the world. I believe that everything happens for a reason. If I hadn't quit band at the beginning of my sophomore year, my schedule wouldn't have gotten rearranged, and I wouldn't have been moved into 8th period psychology. But most importantly, I wouldn't have sat next to the people that encouraged me when I became class president and supported me when I decided that I wanted to compete in HOSA. But more important than that, if I hadn't tried to win, I wouldn't have learned what it's like to fail. When I competed in HOSA my sophomore year, I didn't make it to the state conference, and I was really disappointed. But thankfully, Ms. Wonders was there to remind me that quitting wasn't an option, and she signed me up to compete again my junior year. That year, I failed once more, but this time I didn't have to be reminded not to quit because I was determined to succeed. So I decided to try one last time, and this time I made it to the state conference. And not only that, but I won first place in sports medicine, and I'm excited to compete at internationals this summer. But I couldn't have done it alone, and I would like to acknowledge the athletic trainers at Pearland High School for being such great mentors, and my friends for always supporting me and helping me practice. I've been very fortunate my whole life to have such a big support system, and someone that I would like to recognize specifically is my grandma. She has always encouraged me with the phrase, yo quiero, yo puedo, which means that if you want something, you can achieve it. Fellow graduates, I believe that each of you can accomplish your goals, but I want to remind you that goals change. It's okay to revise your dreams. We may have finished an important chapter in our lives, but there are so many blank pages left for you to fill, so don't be afraid to try new things. Growing up, I swore I was going to go into the medical field, and then one day I decided I wanted to be a sideline reporter for a sports team. And then conveniently, I discovered that you can mix sports and medicine in sports medicine. But even though that's a field that I'm looking forward to get into, I'm not limiting myself to just that. And I encourage y'all to explore. So whether you want to change your major, transfer to a different college, or just change your career in general, don't be afraid to do so. And while you do so, be yourself. You'll find that the people that truly care about you and support you will always want you to succeed. Most importantly, live every day to the fullest. My first day of school sophomore year, a senior from the graduating class of 2022 told me to enjoy every moment of high school because it would be over in the blink of an eye. And at the time, I thought he was crazy and overdramatic. But looking back at it now, I know he was right. The days felt long in the moment, but the years were short. And somehow along the way, we've all managed to grow up. I'll admit, at the beginning of this year, I was not having fun. I was always stressed, whether it was prom planning or college applications. People would ask me, are you ready to graduate and go to college? And the answer was simply, I'm not ready. But today I'm here ready to walk across the stage and excited to attend A&M in the fall. So I want to remind each and every one of you, don't limit yourself with this negative thought process. Of course, there will be times in your life when you're not ready, but that's what life is for. Day by day, you'll find the courage and the strength to help you overcome challenges, and you will achieve your goals. One thing's for sure, you have already achieved so much. Make sure to thank the friends, family, and teachers that got you here, and the people that reminded you of all the places you'll go. Shout out Ms. Hutchins. Most importantly, thank yourselves, because you did this, you worked hard, and you earned this. And as Dr. Seuss once said, congratulations, today's your day, you're off to great places, you're off and away. Once again, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I know you have the capacity to achieve greatness. I couldn't have chosen a better group of students to graduate with. I'm so proud of you.
Our highest ranking graduate is the daughter of Paula Alvarez and Roberto Stranges. Next year, she will be attending the University of Texas at Austin, where she will major in radio, television, and film. Please welcome the class of 2024 valedictorian, Miss Melissa Alejandra Stranges.
Good afternoon, Robert Turner College and Career Class of 2024. Before I begin, I would like to thank Dr. Bouchard, Dr. Berger and his cabinet members, the Pearland ISD Board of Trustees, Turner counselors and teachers, and families and friends in the audience. Thank you for the support and guidance you have given us these past few years. Thank you as well for being here to support us today. I would also like to express some personal thank yous to my friends who had to bear through my constant pestering on what to make this speech about, my sister for the support she has given me, along with the junk food she would pay for, my uncle for coming here all the way from Argentina, besos tío, te quiero mucho, my parents for pushing me to do better and experiment, and finally, thank you to the family that is here today and watching from home. Congratulations, class of 2024. Like the great Elle Woods said in many, many words, we did it. Today is an incredible milestone. We're graduating high school. We've worked hard to be here, fulfilled goals, and overcome challenges that come with growing up. One of which is trying to figure out who you are and who you're going to be, though I guess we'll have to face that for the rest of our lives. I mean, we are still teenagers. However, I'm sure you know at this point that not being ready is perfectly fine. I myself am still trying to figure out where to go from here. I have big ideas of what I want to pursue in life and the specifics of what I'll study in college, but I'm not too worried. Experience has helped me in this area. Since we were kids, we would hear things like, find your purpose and pursue it. To be honest, I have no idea what my purpose is, but I'm slowly trying to figure out what kind of person I want to be. I mean, I grew up thinking STEM was for me. I even came to Turner for the engineering program. Obviously, that did not work out for me. Trust me, I was more shocked than my parents, who both, by the way, have jobs in physics, which might or might not possibly be just a little bit different from film. Luckily, I discovered my desire to study film thanks to testing different classes and hobbies during high school, but I haven't yet had the chance to learn more about it. And it does show I truly suck at filming, at least the actual working with the camera part. Not good, right? But I'm okay with it. It's okay because I know I'm going to get better. Like I mentioned earlier, experience with failure and practice has eased my worries. I know I'm rough, to say the least, but that's why I'm going to study film in college, so I can improve, learn, and create works I'm proud of. The best thing we could do in high school was to experiment, and the same holds true for after. We all have a lot more to learn and live through going forward, but the most important thing is to be willing to experiment. We may not know where we're going from here or what our next step should be, but through trial and error, we will find out. It took a lot for me to reach this point of knowing what I want to study. I took different classes, joined 2 theaters, learned what I liked from each, and through my love of film in general, I found that I wanted to be part of the process of making movies and shows. In order to make discoveries, to improve, to actually live through those experiences that help us grow, we have to try new things. I used to think I needed to have everything figured out immediately and never wanted to give other experiences a try. That's why I didn't know I was more into the arts than STEM until I was 14. I'm glad that discovery happened early and didn't pop up as a midlife crisis. So, take a new and different class at college, or look into a new area concerning your career. Hey, maybe be like me and join a theater. You don't have to rush, but you also don't have to wait for a realization to come to you. We all came to Turner because we had a goal in mind. I hope you achieved it, or, like me, learned a bit about yourself on the way here. Your life might look a little different from what you imagined at 14, but I hope you enjoyed the journey. Put yourself out there, try a new hobby, even if you suck at it and never want to do it again. That was musical theater for me. I'm a horrible singer, but I'm glad I tried it out, making connections and memories that I will cherish for a lifetime. My parents constantly told me to experiment since I was a little kid. Even when I thought I had my whole life figured out, they showed me there was more out there. They told me to try theater since I had liked it in school. They encouraged me to join another theater with different responsibilities. They helped me get interviews, study for tests, memorize my lines, and complete my college applications. They pushed me to keep going and keep trying. I was hesitant, I'll admit, and extremely stubborn, which I get from my dad. But I listened eventually, and I'm so glad I did. I learned from them and those experiences that there are so many possibilities out there. I just had to give them a chance. So, explore that interest you found the other day, look into that pathway you thought about, and just keep going. It'll never be too late to try a new thing. You don't have to be great at it when you start, but as long as you're willing to keep going, you can accomplish anything. You being here today is proof of that. I hope you all enjoy the journey from here, and congratulations, class of 2024. Thank you.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's good. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Berger, Pearland ISD Superintendent, for the certification of our candidates. Students, please stand. Dr. Berger, we, the faculty and staff of Robert Turner College and Career High School, hereby certify that these students have successfully completed the course of study as prescribed by the state of Texas. In addition, they have satisfied all the graduation requirements as stipulated by the Board of Trustees of the Pearland Independent School District.
Thank you, Dr. Bouchard. I accept your certification, and I hereby declare these students as graduates of Pearland Independent School District with all the rights, honors, and privileges of this degree. Congratulations. Go Railcats!
Thank you, Dr. Berger. Graduates, you may be seated. And now for the presentation of our graduates. To preserve the dignity, the significance, and the momentous event, and to ensure that each family has the opportunity to hear that their student's name is read, we ask that you refrain from using air horns, whistles, noisemakers, and remain seated as each graduate is recognized.
Melissa Alejandra Stranges, summa cum laude. Carla Fernanda Acala, summa cum laude. Juliana Jean Bessier, summa cum laude. Johnson Dang, summa cum laude. Henry Rafael Dela Cruz, summa cum laude. Ian Alexander McPhail, summa cum laude. Caitlin Wida Mary Norman, summa cum laude. Sophia Natasha Ortiz, summa cum laude. Ramon Marvin Ruiz Martinez, summa cum laude. Amelia Ann Theroff, summa cum laude. Lamis Mahed Abdel Jawad. Lean Asama Abdurrahim Abdelatif. Mia Abu Elijah, magna cum laude. Sean Michael Agler. Daniel Aguilera. Miguel Anel Alanis, cum laude. Caden Wallace Allenworth. Jacob Carter Allen. Daniel Augustine Alonzo. Natalia Alexandra Alvarez. Melanie Ruby Alvarez. Alexa Victoria Amaya. Robert Alejandro Araya Rodriguez. Tyler Ray Armstrong. Danica Daisy Areola. Alejandro Augusto Avendano. Bryn Michael Bailey. Abigail Gracie Jean Balliard. Jocelyn Diane Bateman. Donald James Beal III. Julian Emily Beal. Samantha Janet Beal. Casey Joseph Bowen. Dylan Camden Bradford. Finley Claire Brennan. Riker Kane Brennan. Taylor Simone Britton. Olivia Ray Brown. Ryan Walter Brown. Leah Michelle Burdick. Marlene Camacho. Sergio Javier Cantu. Michael Eduardo Cardoza Jr., cum laude. Sanaya Stacy Carter. Cannon Alexander Casey. You did. Giselle Castillo. Sophia Marie Castillo. Julia Claudette Castro. Quavonia Cece Chazon. Benjamin Branyan Chikoria. Alessandra Crystal Cinco Reyes. Hannah Catherine Clark. Caleb Andrew Claude. Joanna Cortez. Haley Samantha Craw. Damara Cruz. Dylan Joel Cruz. Rolando Axel Cruz. Lawson Joseph Cooley. Evangeline Grace Curlis. Jack Kenton Dawson, magna cum laude. Beatrice Gail Pasqua de Guzman, magna cum laude. John Thomas Diaz.
Emily Rose Downing, magna cum laude. Taryn Jade Durso. Parisia Janae Dyer. Leland Thornton Dysert IV. Jade Lynn Escobar. Alejandro Abisai Estrada Martinez. Omar Sharif Fairley Jr. Fatima Fawad, cum laude. Grant Gilbert Feltz. Caleb Michael Fletcher. Tomas Fuentes. Daniela Isabel Galindo, magna cum laude. Abel Yair Garcia. Aline Luz Garcia. Antonio Garcia. Leslie Jasmine Garcia Ramirez. Matthew Garcia. Abigail Grace Garza, magna cum laude. Christian Garza. Samara Garza. Vanessa Jeanette Garza. William Lee Glazner. Gavin Reese Glimp. Anthony Javid Gondal. Javier Gonzalez. Lucas Gerardo Gonzalez. Noah Josiah Gonzalez. Cody Allen Goodman, cum laude. Gerard J. Gordon Connor, cum laude. Tristan William Gray. Emmanuel Joseph George Green. Thomas Edward Greenwell II. Zoe Tennille Griffin. Hector Osiris Guerra. Nayla Brycelyn Guerra. Jade Danielle Guillory. Rowan Crest Guthrie. Daniel Haj Muhammad, cum laude. Caitlin Michelle Henry. Maricela Hernandez. Nicole Hernandez. Sarai Hernandez. Laila Carolina Hidalgo Salazar. Alessandra Marie Hill. Braden David Hill. Zachary David Hill. Kayla Mariah Hughes. Carrington Jamia Hunter. Mia Daniela Hyde. Lauren Grace Jacob, magna cum laude. Estefany Hasso Hernandez. Avery May Jimenez, magna cum laude. Isabella Jimenez. Andrew Dylan Jolly. Elena Yuli Jones. Cole Thomas Kelly. Zainab Shiraz Khan. Philip Matthew Koshi. Hudson Charles Lambert. Thomas Christopher Lambert, summa cum laude. Ricky Ryan Landa. Lily Olivia Lara, cum laude. Luke Caldwell Latrope. Andrew Coy Lee.
Danielle Lauren Lira, magna cum laude. Richard Martin Loper. Gloria Maria Lopez Espitia. Jacqueline Lopez. Jose Gildardo Lopez Jr. Omar Lopez Jr. Melanie Lozano. Julian Joseph McKenzie. Mason Ray Madden. Brooklyn Reese Maloney, cum laude. Adam David Martinez. Montserrat Martinez. Irene Ann Matai. Aaron Michael McNeil Jr. Jason Michael Metter. Anthony Alexander Meza. Dylan Wayne Miller. Haley Joe Miller. Jacob Bradley Moore. Joseph Eli Moore. Elise Lynn Morales. DeRay Ricardo Moreno. Sarah Michelle Moreno. Yasmin Alicia Morgan, magna cum laude. Hunter Cole Morris. Zoe Ann Buttercup Mullins, magna cum laude. Ramon Alexander Munoz. Lila James Nall. Jonathan Thomas Nestor. Jessica Nguyen. John Paul Tien An Nguyen. Lori Yin Nguyen. Lin Yin Nguyen. Teeny Quoc Nguyen. So proud of y'all. Adela Faye Nielsen. Jeremy Jacob Northcutt. Ruth Leilani Nairo. Zaira Bandoy Pangdagandan. Magna cum laude. Braden Patrick Pascarella. Elijah Jitendra Patel. Celeste Ariana Pesina. Sophia Nicole Pena. Valeria Alejandra Pena. Roslyn Pena Orozco. Joshin John Pericott, summa cum laude. Queenette Micah Beltran Perdon, magna cum laude. Devin Eric Perez. Paul Aaron Perez Jr. Reagan Kaylin Perry. Ilham Muna Ferreira, cum laude. Alberto Sebastián Pinales. Ivan Javier Pinales Jr. Braden Daniel Palmer Perkle. Chloe Eleanor Pogamiller. Madison Vanessa Poole. Giovanni Emmanuel Posadas Escobar. Frank Edward Pugh, Jr. Juan Carlos Quiros, Jr. Marcos Fernando Ramirez. Javier Salvador Ramos, Jr. Michaela Dawn Rankin. Jacqueline Noel Rector. Max Alexander Reyes. Alessandra Reina. Riley Roden. Harrison Marshall Richard.
Adriana Rivera. Owen Crawford Roberts. Casey O'Deely Rodriguez. Sorry, Case. Do not start with me. Raisler. Kevin Nicholas Raisler. Morgan Riley Rollader. Ashlyn Diane Romolo. Madeline Gail Relasis. Alexandria Gabrielle Ruiz. Now we're rolling. Sammy Bass Subara. Hope Isabella Salazar. April Marie Sanchez. Danielle Ann Sanchez. Saravia. Brandon Alexander Saravia. Natalie K. Saunders. Hayden Isaac Scallon. Allison Grace Shrink, magna cum laude. Schaefer II. Perry Gardner Simpson. Aaron Glenn Smith. Ava Juliet Elmer Smith. Zora Noel Smith. Grace Emily Sneed. Dustin Darren Sprigg. Sorry. Janae Georgia Stegall. Abigail Caroline Stevens. Abby Justine Strokata, sum laude. Suttereth, yeah. Sky Michelle Suttereth. Thomas Lee Summerall. Nicholas Escovedo Swanson. Kylan LaShawn Sweeney. Chloe Christiana Tatum. Gavin Eugene Thompson. Tyler Matthew Throttle. Alyssa Kathy Tiarina, cum laude. Ezekiel J. Tittle. Abraham Isaiah Torres. Cruz Ivan Torres. Catalina Alejandra Torres. Luis Arturo Torres Jr. Sophia Emily Torres. Nicholas Aiden Tovar. Ashlyn Me Taylor Tran. Con Tran. Brian Fan Trin, cum laude. Kathy Wynn Tu, summa cum laude. Kirsten Michelle Turner. Chisholm Grace Umelo. Abigail Urista. Nathaniel Matthew Varghese. Giovanni Vasquez. My apologies. Andrea Vela. Luigi Velasquez. Devin Michelle Vidu. Alexis Presayas Villanueva. Tyler Wynn Vo. Nathan Richard Wafula. Austin Emery Wheeler. Ronan Kane Wheeler. Caleb Nicholas Williams. Mackay, yeah. Oh, I got you. Cameron Mackay Williams. Chase Allen Williams. Zion Lincoln Williams. Jacob Gustav Blankenship Wood. Kaylin Grace Worsham. Avani Madeline Yimick. And last but not least, Timothy Scott Young.
Graduates, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to introduce the 2024 graduates of Robert Turner College and Career High School. I commend you on earning your high school diploma. At this time, please move your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to the left, signifying that you are now alumni of Robert Turner College and Career High School. Congratulations, graduates!